Let's make a shaker greeting card together. Hey crafty friends, I'm Sarah, and today with Cricut Fabrica, I'm going to show you step by step how to make a simple shaker greeting card using a Cricut. I'll go over what you need, how to create your design, and also how to cut and assemble it. And I'll also share a ton of Cricut tips along the way as well. There are lots of different ways you can make shaker cards. This one is just a super basic introduction, so it's best for beginners. But do stick around because I'll also share some other ideas of how you could make them depending on what materials you have available. So let's get started. Let's first go over what you need. Although you can actually make this card by hand or with a manual die cutter machine, I will be showing you how to make it on a Cricut throughout this video. And I will be using the print and cut feature, but if you're using a Cricut Joy or you don't have a printer, then I will give you some tips for alternatives that you could use. You will need some good quality, sturdy card. I'm using white for printing on and blue for the main part of my card. You need some acetate sheets, some glue, some foam strips, then some glitter or sequins or similar. And that's everything. So let's create our design. Let me first go to Creative Fabrica, as they actually do already have some cool pre-made shaker card designs and some shaker templates that you could stick on the front of cards. If you want to do that, I'll show you how at the end. But for this project, we are going to create a design from scratch. So let's go over to Design Space. You could use the Cricut card template to begin with, but that does limit you to using Cricut branded cards. So I'm going to start with a blank canvas. To make your card shape, add a square, then resize that to double the size you want your card to be. You might want to make it fit a specific envelope you have. Just make sure it is a size that isn't so big that you won't be able to cut it out of card. I'm making mine 8 by 5 inches. And if you have a scoring tool, you can add a score line, make it the same height. I also duplicated mine so it will score twice. Then select all and align horizontal and vertical. Now add another square, and this is going to be the front of your card. So you could either make it the same size as half of your card, but I'm going to make mine slightly smaller so that there is a bit of an outline. Now go back across to Creative Fabrica and let's go to the patterns section. I'm looking for a starry pattern that's suitable for a kid's card, as that's the theme I'm going to go with. So I'll choose this one and click download. Then go back to Design Space, click on upload, and we're going across to pattern fill here. Drag your pattern into this box and it will upload. Now click on the box you just added, change the operation to print then cut, go to colour and then pattern, and your new pattern should be in this box. Click on it and it will change your rectangle automatically, and you can click edit pattern if you want to increase or decrease the scale or change the position. I'm going to make this into a border, so what I need to do is duplicate my box and make one smaller. Then duplicate it again and change the colour of that second one. I'm just hiding the second one for now though. And actually, I'm going to make the first one white too, so I can see what I'm doing. Decrease in size until you're happy with the size of your border. It needs to be thick enough that you can add foam tape underneath it. Then select both, hit align, and align horizontally and vertically. Then select both again and hit slice. Then delete the slice results other than your border with a gap in it. If you're using a Cricut Joy for this project and you can't print then cut, you could just use patterned or coloured card for this part instead. So this blue rectangle is going to be my acetate layer. You can leave it the same size. I'm just going to make it slightly smaller though. Just make sure it's still well hidden by the patterned frame. Now I also want to add some wording to my card, so I'm going back to Creative Fabrica to find a font. This display font section is always quite good for kids' designs, but actually I'm going to search for one that has stars on it to fit with the theme. This one is perfect, so I just downloaded and double clicked on it to install on my computer. When you go back to Design Space, you will need to save your project, then hit View and force reload to make it show up in the system font section. and I'm just keeping it really simple by typing out the wording I want to use. I'm going to change the colour and the line space, then add an offset and hit apply. I'm changing that to yellow to help the blue stand out. If you're using a Cricut Joy though, you would want to change the operation of your wording to pen here and select both and attach so that they cut out as a separate section and you can use your pen tool. Click on the offset and then contour if you have any gaps like this, and you can just click hide all contours to make them disappear. Then I also made mine bigger so that it's overlapping the frame. So now I just need to select all and hit flatten. And this is what it will look like, obviously just assuming the acetate layer is clear. Try not to create a design that is too intricate or that might be too small for your machine to cut though. You could also add extra details here too. I'm going to add a couple of stars and I'll just cut those out separately and stick them on. You could also cut your wording out of sticker paper and stick that on if you don't want to glue everything. Or you could do multiple layers so that your card is a bit more 3D. But otherwise, once you're done, make sure everything is set to the right operation, then click Make. Mine is going to print first, so I clicked Send to Printer. Then I usually turn bleed off. This adds a bleed to your images that helps to avoid white outlines, but if your machine is calibrated correctly, that shouldn't be an issue. Then I always turn Use System Dialog on so that when I click print, this box will pop up and I can adjust my printer settings to best quality. Add your card to your printer and print out your design. And I'm using the heavy cardstock cut setting to cut mine. Add to your cutting mat, insert into your machine and click go, and that will cut your design. When removing from your mat, fold the mat away from the card so as not to bend it. Then the next layer was the card, so for this one I had to add my scoring tool into the tool holder before then adding it to the mat and inserting into the machine. But otherwise that was very quick to cut and I just folded it down the score line. You don't even really need a scoring tool for this as it is such a simple fold, but it just helps to keep it quite neat. Then for the acetate, there is an acetate cut setting. However, unfortunately, I don't think the Cricut Joy, the Joy Extra or the Joy 2 will cut acetate. So you may need to do this part with scissors if you're using one of those machines. But otherwise, add to your cutting mat and cut that final layer. Now it's time to assemble. The first step is to add the acetate layer. So figure out where that needs to go, then add glue to your card all around the edges of where it is going to stick and press that down, trying to get it as straight as possible. And now I'm just going to glue on my stars, but if you're adding embellishments that are a bit thicker, you may want to leave this until last. Then flip over again and add your foam tape to the back. I had to cut my strips in half so they would fit behind the frame without being visible. They are quite hard to cut as they're so sticky, so they do look a bit messy. So if you can get thinner strips or make a thicker frame, then that may be best. And now you just need to make sure that each strip is pushed up against the other one and that there are no gaps, otherwise your glitter or sequins will fall out. And once they're all stuck down, remove the paper from the strips. Again, just checking there are definitely no gaps. If you're using quite chunky sequins or want to add a lot to the middle of your card, then you may actually want to do double strips here or buy thicker foam tape so that there is more room between the card and the acetate. But otherwise, carefully add your glitter or sequins into this middle part, then find the front of your card, flip that over and line it up with your frame. And once it's straight, press down. Using the grid on my cutting mat did help me with lining this up, although it is still slightly off, so maybe it would be easier to keep the frame and the card the same size. But sometimes you just have to experiment with these things. There it is anyway though. The glitter moves about freely and it's such a fun way to take your card making to the next level. As promised though, let me show you a few other ways you could do this. So as I mentioned at the beginning, you could use a pre-existing shaker template like this from Fabrica, download and upload on top of your existing card template. Or you could even use a pre-made card as your base. You would just need to cut this bottom layer out of one colour of card and then the rest of the layers out of either card or foam. Then you wouldn't necessarily need to use foam tape or strips. The card layers would act as your spaces. Although if you are using card, I would probably duplicate the bright orange layer a few more times, just so that there's definitely enough height to fit your glitter in the middle. If you don't have acetate, you could also use little bags like this or other types of clear plastic to make a little sachet for your glitter. Then you could cut a shape out of your card, tape that behind the hole, then add more card over the back to hide it. Or you could even put your card straight into the bag and tape it shut. Then your whole card is surrounded by glitter. This would only really work for a non-folded card though. And then if you think you're going to be making a lot of shaker cards, you can actually buy pre-formed shaker covers that you can stick straight onto your cards, which again makes things a lot quicker and easier. There's so many different ways you could play around with shaker cards. That's definitely part of the fun of making them. So what kind of shaker card are you going to make? Let us know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share with all of your crafty friends. Until next time, happy crafting.